Hello and welcome to California Garden Goddess, where we help you grow a green thumb and help you make the most of what you produce no matter where you live. I'm Anna Harris and I'm a fourth generation grower living in the beautiful foothills of the Angeles National Forest outside Los Angeles. If you find this video helpful, useful, or informative, please like and subscribe to my channel. We are a brand new channel and we are just starting off, but I've been growing my entire life and I just want to show you everything that I know about gardening and homesteading. So today is February 6th, 2024, which means that it might seem like it's too late to get your California wildflowers in the ground. After all, some of them are already popping up from last year. Some of them might already be blooming depending on where you live, and you might just be worried that you don't have enough time. Thankfully, all this moisture that we've been getting lately, I'm sure you've had some effect of this atmospheric river or the Pineapple Express. But I'm sure that with all of this rain that we've all received over the last few days, it's going to be a great time to get some wildflowers in the ground once things are drying up a little bit. The reason why is because all this moisture is really, really good for our seeds. It actually tells a lot of our native seeds to sprout that haven't sprouted in previous years. And it's just the perfect time to plant your California natives. Now, I admit that I'm one of those people that it's a little bit late with my wildflowers this year. I'd really meant to plant them last fall, but we wound up painting our house instead, and it just wound up taking way too long, and we still haven't gotten our project started. So in California, you want to make sure that you're not necessarily digging when the ground is really wet and saturated. We've been having almost 2 full days of rain here, and we've had, I think, I have to look at my rain gauge again, but it looks like we've had like 7, 8, maybe even 9 inches of rain just in the last couple days, which is almost, I mean, for some people in Southern California, that's your entire annual rainfall for the year usually. So this has really just been an intense storm for, I'm sure, a lot of us, and I'm glad that my garden has not been flooded. So once the rain is over and things are drying out, we're actually going to be renting a sod cutter, cutting out this St. Augustine grass, and putting in some pollinator patches in my front yard where we get lots of sun, and it should be drawing in lots of the birds, butterflies, and bees that we all love and see in our garden. So most of the wildflowers I'm going to be talking about today can be found throughout the state, but if you're interested in finding out exactly which wildflowers are completely local to your area, you can go on calscape.org. It's a great resource and tells you exactly how far away to plant your natives, when they're dormant, all of the great information that you need to know when doing and planting your garden. Now, I would love for every yard in California to have their own little Superbloom every spring by having wildflowers popping up in the yard. Wouldn't that be amazing? That's one of the reasons why I started this channel, to get more people to plant native plants that are native to their area. So if you're not from California, I understand that this video may not seem like it's for you, but I'm sure there's a resource in your state or area that will help you find plants that are native to your area and help you increase local biodiversity in your area, which is something that is just amazing and something that non-native plants don't really help with. If you want to learn more about why you should plant native plants in your garden, watch this short video and it'll help you with that information. Now, most of the plants I'm going to be talking about today are, unfortunately, they are toxic. So if you have pets, if you have children, please be cautious around some of these plants. They can be toxic if they're eaten. So just make sure that your child is not trying to eat the grape soda lupine, because it's not going to taste like grape soda and it could wind up making them very, very sick. And most of these wildflowers are annual. Some of them can become perennialized depending on where you are. So this is just, wildflowers can be also native plants as well. But I just want to go through my top 5. Number 1 for me is the California poppy. These are the beautiful plants that you see on the hillsides, the beautiful orange flowers. They can vary a little bit in color depending on if you're by the coast versus in the foothills. The foothills tend to be like a brighter orange, and the coast have more of like a yellowy golden and then orange in the middle. These are some of the most beautiful ones that people think of when they think of the word Superbloom. Okay. Number 2 is lupine. Lupine comes in many shades of purple. It can also come in yellow, and it's one of the most common wildflowers you'll find in California in all of its different varieties. The one I'm most excited to be planting this year is actually the grape soda lupine, which is supposed to smell like grape soda. Remember, do not eat any of these plants. These are toxic, but I am excited to actually just smell this and see if it actually does smell like grape soda. The third wildflower that I'm going to be planting in my yard this year is the common sunflower. Now, there are many different types of sunflowers that you can find out there that are not native to your area. There are some that might be, but this common sunflower is just one that the birds just love to eat, and it'll help draw the birds away from your precious fruits and vegetables since they'll be much more likely to want to eat this native seed that's native to their area. This fourth one is yarrow, which can be a perennial or an annual depending on where you live. Now, yarrow is one of those plants that's like you can find many that are not native to California, but the one that is common to California is the common yarrow. It's a white colored flower and it sticks pretty low to the ground, makes a really good ground cover, especially if you want a drought tolerant garden. That's why I'm adding yarrow to my garden this year. And last but not least is number 5, and that is milkweed. Milkweed is one of the only plants, actually, it is the only plant that the monarch caterpillar can consume. And so it will wind up bringing all these beautiful monarch butterflies to your yard because they're just looking for a place to lay their eggs. I suggest that you plant a ton of milkweed in your yard this year because what happens is the caterpillars wind up eating all of it. Like all the butterflies that will come to your yard, they'll all lay eggs on the milkweed. And if you're not careful, the bush will be eaten down and you'll run out of milkweed and you won't have any more for your poor little caterpillars. It can be almost impossible to find milkweed in Southern California once you're in the summertime. So as soon as you can, as soon as it gets warm, that's the best time to plant milkweed. And that's when I'm going to be planting milkweed this spring. Thank you for watching my video. I hope that you'll be creating your own Superbloom in your yard this spring. Bye.